What's going on, guys? Bob Roche from RocheTechnology.com here with a pretty quick video for you guys on my thoughts on Google Fiber. Now, this isn't going to be a very informative video, on everything that Google announced and, everything in that hour keynote, but rather just some things in my mind that are the bigger deals. And so, with that said, let's just go ahead and jump right into it. The first one I want to talk about are these ridiculous internet speeds. Now, Google is touting a gigabit up and down. That's just out of this world speed, and some people would say, well, you could never use that much bandwidth. Well, depending on your family, like if, for example, if it's someone like me that's just, going to be living alone or doing whatever, you probably won't be using all that bandwidth all the time, but the point is that it'll never slow down. I'm sure you guys, if you have multiple devices, maybe your iPad is over there downloading some software, and then your iPhone is over there updating, and then you're uploading a video on your computer. Basically what Google is trying to do is make it so you don't experience any slowdowns. You're maybe not necessarily going to be using all of that upload and download speed simultaneously at all given times, but the point is that it'll never slow down, and that's what they want. They want to have a buffer-free internet experience. So now with these insane internet prices, you'd think that the price is going to be equally insane just to even get this stuff. And really Google is making this extremely affordable. For this, $1,000 down and $1,000 up, you're going to be paying about $70 a month for the internet-only plan. That is just ridiculous. That's a breakthrough, as Apple would say. All these other ISPs are charging not much less, and in some cases more, for speeds that are 10, 20 times less. So Google is really pushing all these ISPs into really bigger competition, and they have no bandwidth caps. So ISPs like Comcast, who's going to want a bandwidth cap if in a couple years you can get a Google Fiber connection that is much, much faster and has no caps at all? ISPs like Verizon, Time Warner, all these different ISPs or wherever you live, they're really going to have to step up their game if they're going to compete with Google Fiber. And at this point, Google Fiber, it's just starting and it's only in like Kansas City, but give it a couple years and I'm sure it'll branch out all over the place. And while I'm not going to talk about it very much in this video, they also offer, like TV servers. That's all internet TV. You can use like different Android tablets as the remote, things like that. Really, I'm not a TV person at all. I would never pay the extra for this. I don't pay for cable now. I probably never will. All the different entertainment, Netflix, YouTube, podcasts from iTunes, I really don't have any need or really any time for additional content, so why pay, another $50 a month for it? I just really don't see a point. All the entertainment I need is right there, so as long as I have a fast internet connection, I don't really see the point of having to pay an extra $50 a month. If you have a big family, that could change. But Google also is offering the TV plan where I'm not sure all the channels you get. I don't think you get like AMC and HBO and a couple others. So whether you're talking about just the internet plan or the TV and the internet plan, either way, all these other ISPs are really, really going to have to step up their game, because in a couple years, if Google takes this thing nationally, and maybe, who knows, even internationally someday, all these other ISPs are going to be in big trouble because Google offers by far the better bang for the buck. Now, there are a couple cons to this. First off, like I said, it's only available in like 1 or 2 cities right now, and it's just starting out, and honestly I'm not quite sure why they selected Kansas. I'm sure there's a reason behind it, and I'm sure it's right there on the internet. I just haven't seen it. But so it is only there, so it will take a couple years to branch out, especially to where I am in Pennsylvania. They really have no need to go there right now, so it will be, years before we see anything like this where in my area. But, central United States, maybe bigger cities like San Francisco, they will definitely be getting things like this before I will. Another con is that people are already sort of scared by Google as it is, just because of the massive information they know about anybody. All these free services they offer, they're just collecting and collecting and collecting all this different data from everybody. Now that they're going to be an ISP, they're going to know even more information, and a lot more information. If you get the TV plan, they're going to know what kind of shows you like to watch, when you like to watch them. I mean, Google is really going to know much more about everybody that uses their services now, more than ever. So this might scare some people that, Google really is trying to own everything. Everything from, the Google Docs to your Google Drive where they have all your files, and now they're going to actually be giving you an internet connection. So that might freak a couple people out. Personally, people like me, I don't really care because, I tend to think that I have my stuff pretty secure. It's really not a big deal for me, but many people out there I'm sure will be sort of, I guess, flabbergasted by this. It's a word for the day, by the way. So at the end of the day, I think Google Fiber is a huge push forward, and it's really the push that we needed, because if things keep going the way they are currently, with all these different various ISPs giving us, the average speed of like 5 down, 10 down, maybe some spots up to like 50 down, for the prices that they're charging, and they have all these different bandwidth caps that are going into place, those caps are going to keep getting lower and lower, and really we're never going to go anywhere. So with Google coming in here and saying, listen, we're going to give you these ridiculous speeds at these even more ridiculous prices, come join us, and people will listen, forcing all these other ISPs to step up their game. The analogy I like to use with this is Apple and the iPad. You know, before the iPad, there was a couple tablets never really caught on because no one could do it right. That's sort of where I think we're at now. And then when Google comes in with this different ISP, the way Apple came in with the iPad, everyone thought that the price was going to be astronomical just because of how nice the product was. And now, when Google or Apple back in the day announced that it was going to be half of the $1,000 that people thought it was going to be, people went nuts, and it really pushed the mobile industry forward big time. Same thing with the iPhone. Of course, the iPhone was kind of crazy price when it came out, but that was the first of its kind. But my point is that with the tablet, that's sort of the way it is now. All these other guys now are really catching up, pushing Apple and all these other guys forward. So Google is sort of changing the internet as we know it, and they're really pushing this technology forward. So I definitely have to give Google huge props for that, the same way I give Apple for the iPad. So what do you guys think? Would you guys use Google Fiber if it was available in your area? Would you, I guess, if you have a family, would you get it? Do you think it's creepy at all? Do you think these speeds are just absolutely ridiculous and there's no need for them? Do you think things should stay the way they are? Regardless what it is, be sure to let me know down below, whether it's on RocheTechnology.com, whether it's in the YouTube comments down below. Be sure to let me know. And personally, I think if it was available in my area, I would definitely get it. I would sign up for that internet plan. I would have done it already if I could have. But that's what I think about Google Fiber. Tell me what you guys think. Be sure to let me know. I'm at CPUKid on Twitter. Also be sure to check out RocheTechnology.com and at RocheTechnology on Twitter. And I'll see you guys in my next video.